up YouTube? My name's Quickie, welcome back to the channel. It's all going a bit manic. It's all going very manic and I'll tell you why. I phoned up this morning, today's Saturday, and I phoned up this morning and I booked it in for MOT on Wednesday. They don't like it if you don't show, so I need to get stuff done. So today's Saturday and I'm flat out trying to get stuff done. Sunday is spoken for, and then we got Monday morning, Tuesday morning, I'm off on Wednesday, and then we got Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off because of, you know, Lizzie's due and all that sort of stuff, and the bank holiday and whatnot. So I want to get it done, I want to go and play, because it is a glorious day out there, and we've got 10 days of this apparently. Proper bikey weather. So I intend putting some miles on it. So I've already started, I've already rubbed all the tank down to bare metal, and I'll put some filler on, where I'll drop the steel on it and put dents in it. I did put too much hardener in. It's supposed to be that bit of filler and then a pea-sized bit of, and I put too much hardener in. So it all went claggy and it dragged, like after 2 minutes of working it, that was it, it was going off. So he might need doing again. And I've also got my front mudguard out there that's all been cleaned off, just like soapy water and stuff, then fresh water, then I've cleaned it out with brake and clutch cleaner. Because I need to do an ABS repair on that. And I've also found that there's something dodgy going on here. There's, I'll see if I can't get some pictures, but there's a little tab on that side that the indicator glass screws onto. And the one over here, in there, it's been completely bodged, and it's not pretty, basically. And there's nowhere to hold the glass on. It just kind of pulled out. There needs to be something, I don't know quite how to do it. I've got the bodywork for Asbo still round the corner. So I might have a look and see if there's a tab on that I can cut off and then use the ABS kit just to stick it on here. It would be a bodge, it would be a bodge. But, you know, the glass needs holding on, so I need to get all this stuff done. Right, let's have a look at that mudguard. Right, so to fix it, I'm gonna put a hole in it. It don't need to be a big one, does it? Just a little one, just to stop the crack going anymore. It'll do. Right. The idea is that as the crack gets up to the hole, because the hole is like hole shaped, you know, it's round, the crack just kind of goes and it stops at that point. So we'll see if we can find the end of it. And we're going to go just a tiny bit beyond it. Where is it? Right, so it's about there. Is it any clearer on this side? No. God, it's hard to see, isn't it? Right, okay. So a little bit beyond the hole. Right. Right, that'll do it. So just you probably can't even see it. There we go. Tiny little hole. But it's just, it's like, I don't know, a mil. You know, the cracker's got a mil to go before it hits that hole. So, you know, if anything's going to happen, it's just going to get to the hole, and it's going to stop. So that's all right. Right, where's that ABS kit? Is there anything else in there? No. Right, so this is what you get. Set of kiddie fiddlers, some sandpaper, which is 180 and 400 grit, a little spready jobby thing, and you get this. So this is the repair kit, and this is like the reinforcing mesh that you get. It's a plastic or rubber or something, I don't know, just in a grip, but it's tacky to touch. So the idea is, and this is like a two-part adhesive, Delta adhesives, don't know if you can see that. I can't read the rest of it because the patch stuff is over it. Oh, there is directions. Right, okay. So the idea is some of this reinforcing stuff is going to go on the back and completely cover where that crack is. We mix up some of this goo having obviously scuffed it up and give it a key and blah blah blah. And then that's all getting gooed on there and spread out, and it will completely cover this mesh. This sets up pretty good actually. It's pretty firm stuff. I think there is still a little bit of flexibility to it, but it's not the sort of stuff that you want to be sanding down. So this is only going on the inside, and then on the outside it'll have a bit of a, you know, dob of filler and, you know, sand it down that way. But that's what I'm using to get it done. Never used this before. It could be junk, but you know, it's an ABS repair kit. It can't be that bad. Loads of people was chipping in about using acetone and various other bits and pieces to melt it all together. But you know, and they're all good suggestions, don't get me wrong. I love it when people chip in, but I'd already ordered this, you know, and it's an ABS repair kit. It should do the job. Right, let's give this a go then, and we'll see what happens. Right, so that's it. It's a doddle to do. Not really easy to do, and you don't need a great deal of it because you've got that mesh and stuff there. You can get away with quite a thin layer. The mesh is all covered. You make sure all the edges is stuck down. You can use that stuff as a filler, but it dries harder than filler, if that makes sense. So when you're sanding it down, you just have to have your wits about you a bit. But it's quite low profile. It's not like a big globby thing or anything like that. Curing time on this is for 4 hours, I think. Sandable after 12. Yeah, so it's like properly and fully cured. So I guess the MacLoed's going to be the last bit that Jack does. Right, what's next? Right, you can go there. What have I got? Right, I've still got this bit to repair. This is the surround for the rear light. He's snapped off, he needs to go on like that. But, yeah, I don't want to get the angle wrong. I could guess, but I'll probably get it wrong. So I need Jack to rock up, because he's still got all the tail unit and everything else what he's painted. So then I could, you know, have a look and make sure it is the right angle before I go welding stuff together with some more of that stuff. I mean, there's goo and everything else on the inside of this, so I don't know if it's been fixed before or how that stuff's going to stick to it, but it needs sticking. It needs sticking. What am I going to do? All right, I'll give it a clean. Well, I've got one of these. I've got a snow foamer. One of them and a thing of that. pH neutral cherry high foam shampoo. Why is everything cherry? But apparently this is a snow foamer. It just helps cleaning stuff basically. So there's the gubbins, there's the tank. Bit of tube. And a cloth. And some instructions. Foam gun installation. Alright. Oh, okay. That's easy enough then. So I've got my pressure washer. I'm hoping it fits because there's loads of them. Where does it come apart? There? Yes. Oh, I'm hoping. Actually, is that the same? Oh, it could be. Right. So he should just get jammed in there then. Get on. God, it's tight. Tight! Okay. And he goes on there. like that. What's that for? It doesn't tell you. What's that for then? Or is that just a cap for it? It can't be a cap for it, can it? Mr. Man in his rant. Haven't seen him in a while. Right, so shake well before use. High foam wash creates a snow foam effective if used with specific. Well, it came with that one, so it should be a specific adapter. Effortlessly removes dirt and contaminants from surface and removes all traces of traffic, dirt, film and grease. Awesome. Doesn't say how much to mix it up with. Because I know it's concentrate. No, it doesn't. There's all this stuff about wear protective gloves and get medical attention if you drink it and stuff like that. Right. It doesn't say anything. If I remember correctly, it did say on the website, quarter of that, you know, fill this quarter full, and then the rest with water. So that's what I'm going to do. Quick plug out to what? What the hell is that? I don't get it. Right, another top tip for you. Put the water in first. Because I've got a hose pipe that comes out a fair old rate, and as it goes in there you just get foam. Right, let's get the bike down, clear some space, and we'll have a go at this. Right then. Right, small change of plan, that's going to have to wait. I've just undone it all, gone to wheel it off. The thing is, it's still in gear, and I haven't got a clutch, so I can't roll it backwards. So I've got, because my bench isn't wide enough, I could just put the side stand down. I haven't got a paddock stand or anything, so I've got the platform jack out to the side. It's on its side stand. I need to get the clutch sorted so I can, you know, get it out of gear and get it off the bench. So I did have turn up my banjos. I'm really hoping now that this is going to help me bleed the clutch. So we'll have a crack at getting this done. I've got one for the front brake as well, just to try and make that a little bit sharper. So I can't believe I did that. Right, I've got a working clutch again. Woohoo! It was a proper faff though. Couple of tips for you. I don't like these banjo things, these things. So it's like the banjo with the bleed nipple in the end of it, just because it's another connector basically. I don't like them. However, it did serve a purpose here, but I did have to try a number of things to get it done because this was just being a complete pig. What I ended up doing was fitting the banjo, then I used that syringe to pump fluid from the bottom up to the top. I'm not a big fan of that either, but it did fill the whole system. And then with the bike on the side stand, but the handlebars turned to the right, this kind of levels out, if that makes sense. So the angle on the piston is, I mean, it's not dead level, but it's not far off. And then it was a case of bleeding it. I did have a go with the vacuum pump thing again. I don't like it just because it leaches air in around the joins. So you're always getting bubbles come through and you can't tell if it's bubbles out of the system or just out of the join. So I binned that off and just did it conventionally down there with my hose and this thing, like a one-way valve, that jobby there. Bled it conventionally down there, and then the last thing I did was just bleed the little, there was only like 2 or 3 little bubbles came out the top here, but there was something that came out, and I've now got quite a nice firm clutch, returns all the way, it's not notchy or anything else, and I've been able to knock my bike out of gear. So, we is in. I might do the front again, just because this one bled up a lot better than that one did. Yeah, I'll do that. Right then, I taped up the fuel line, just so we don't get any water in it. That was the only hole that was left open as far as I can see. All the bolts is out. There are bare connectors and stuff, but they're all going to get cleaned out afterwards. Yeah, I think we'll be all right. All right, let's... Oh, come on. Right then, I've never used one of these, but it should be a right giggle. Right, some water. Oh, hello. What's that? Is he spotless? No. Is he cleaner than he was? Hell yes. It's just had a cursory scrub up basically just to get most of the schmoo and schmutz and stuff off. Them snow foam jobby things, I don't know what all the fuss is about. You do just as good with a bucket of soapy water and a bit of elbow grease, but it's cleaner than it was, which is all sweet. Oh, I need to take that off. There we go. Right, so I've also had to go at the tank as well. So I've sanded down the filler that I put on, and I've just put some dolphin glaze on it. So it's like it's a much finer sort of filler. It takes no sanding at all, but it just fills in the little pinholes and stuff. And there were a couple, tiny little bit of a low spot on one of them, but I'm hoping that dolphin glaze is going to sort it. So that's curing at the minute, and then I can just sand that, and that's all ready for Jack. Been in touch with Jack. He's down on the hoe at the minute. He's down by the seafront, sort of enjoying life rather than working. So I've told him about the MOT on Wednesday, and that he needs to get his arse in gear, which he's going to be. He's going to be back later on. But I can't do the rear light thing and fix that until I get the seat unit back, the two halves to that. And if I get that back now, it's going to give the game away as to what colour this is going. So I'm not sure if we're going to get to it today, or that's going to be a job on Monday. I don't know. But I do need to fix that front fairing. So what have I found? Right, I've got this. Not sure it's going to work, but I've got a tail light off a Bandit, and it's got a tag on it that might do the job. Right, so I'll just stuck the indicators in. The problem that I've got is that if you see this one, essentially it just, come on, oh don't break, please don't break now. Right, so essentially it just hooks on at the front, sort of around the panel, and then this bit has got a screw that goes through, and that locates in the tab. So the whole thing sort of goes in a bit like this. Don't break. It's a tight fit. There we go. And then he screws in place. And it's all like, you know, it's quite flush. It's a nice fit and all that sort of stuff. Same can't be said on the other side. I'll get a picture of this one just so you can see. There is no gap around the join, whereas the one on this side, there is a gap. It's like 3mm in places, and it doesn't sit flush with the side of the fairing, and that's because of all this goop that's on the inside. I don't know what it is, whether someone siliconed it or melted it or masticed it or whatever. It's sort of soft and chewy to the touch. You can sort of dig your fingernail in. I think it's like a silicone type stuff. I don't know, but that's never going to do, because this wasn't bolted in at all. This literally just pulled out, and it's got to be screwed in place. So we need to fix it, and that's where I reckon this tab comes in. So if I show you this bit, where are you? Can you see? Right, that tab there, it's made out of ABS plastic as well, so it's the same stuff as this. But if you look on this side, don't break, don't break. Please don't break. Why aren't you coming out? You came out, there we go. So if we look on this side, there's a tab there. All right, it's got some ribs and stuff to it, but it looks an awful lot like that one to me, just sort of like that way round. So I reckon if I was to chop one of these off, take all that schmoo and smuts and goo and everything else off, which is stopping it from sitting down properly. Actually, look, it just pulls off. I don't know what it is. What is it? Ah. It's like rubber, it's like mastic. Well, it's not meant to be on there anyway, so it's leaving. But we'll try and trim this down a bit so we get down to just ABS. Then I'm going to chop that off. I'll stick the light in, see if I can get that to marry up and see where it needs to go. And then with the light all taped in place, we're going to see if we can't stick it together with that ABS repair kit. First up, I've just got to clean it. Right, messiest job ever. Now I know why they put plastic gloves in the kit. This isn't coming off. What's happening? Well, it is the messiest. I will put a picture up just so you can see. I'm a little bit embarrassed about it, but it's really hard to put such a small thing onto such another small bit, because it's all ribs that come up and it's all angles. Have you ever done fiberglassing? Trying to get the fiberglass to go right into the corners or go round a tight bend or anything like that. Well, that's the trouble that I'm having with this stuff. It is bendy, but it doesn't crease. It just kind of springs back and stuff. So all I've ended up doing, there's some of the adhesive on the tab and on the fairing, stuck a tab on there, and then I put some of that reinforcement mesh over top of it, and then gooped a whole load of the adhesive on. If I can get that to cure and go hard, then I can come back and I can do another layer, because I've got to kind of build up this. It's like, you know, sides on three sides and a tab across the top. So I've got to try and get that sort of shape just to give it the strength, because that's the only fixing. It's not under any load, but it is under vibration. So yeah, it needs chunking up. That's just the first pass. I'll be back in on Monday anyway, and I can have a go at it then. That's fine, not a problem. Jack ain't showed up. He said he was. He ain't. So I'm kind of at a point where I can't really do that much now. I could sand the tank down, but I want all the filler to go completely off and cure and everything else. So I know it's dry when I start sanding it down, so I can get it as nice and smooth as I possibly can do. Then hopefully that's good enough for Jack. So I'm going to be back in on Monday. He can have like the tank and the two side fairings and all that malarkey. I'll get the seat unit back, because then I can repair that tail light surround, and I can also finish off the front fairing with that little tab, and then hopefully I'll get that lot done, give it to him, he can get it painted, and then I'll basically have Wednesday to fit stuff before 2 o'clock, because that's when the MOT is. There's nothing like leaving it till the 11th hour, is there? But anyway, so that's the plan. That's what I'm doing. So today has basically just been plastics repair and a bit of cleaning. But, you know, next week I want this MOT. I want to go out and play on it. So that's what the plan is. But anyway, that's where I'm going to leave it for today, because there isn't anything else that I could do. I do hope you're well and staying safe. We'll see you on the next one. Laters.